Unfortunately, I missed the session. I heard everybody thoroughly enjoyed the story about the Naayanmaars, right? Pusalar and Maipurul Nayanar. Actually, a week back, me and Lataji were discussing a lot about Naayanmaars. It was leading to Shivaratri and what she can talk about, which all nine. So I was also reading and giving her. We both were discussing. So in that process, I also came to read a lot of Naayanmar stories, and I thought, why not we share that as an extension of that session itself? Though I cannot take you like to the bliss which Lataji had taken through her Fusla story, but at least let me share whatever little bit I know about the other Naayanmars. So we have selected four small stories about four Naayanmars. The stories are small, but the message is very big. Okay. So we are first going to see about Viranminda Nayanar, and then we will Viranminda Nayanar, to what extent he can go if a devotee is not respected. We will see that. Okay. Then Dhandi Adigal. Dhandi Adigal is a blind Nayanmar. What all he did, though he was blind. Okay. Then we also will be seeing Maanakanjaanaran. Maanakanjaanaran, to what extent he can go for a adiyar, what all he can do for an adiyar. And Ilayankudi Nayanaar, that is what is true wealth. That also we can see through Ilayankudi Nayanaar story. First, Viranminda Nayanar. Viranminda Nayanar was a simple adiyar. He was just like all adiyars, leading a simple life, and his only objective was to how to make Shaivism better, how to take it to the next level. So his thought was always on that, and he used to respect the devotees like anything. For him, first comes the adiyar, the devotees, and then only comes the Lord himself. That is his mindset. So Viranminda Nayanar and all other different adiyargal, everybody is gathered in one place called Thiruvarur. Thiruvarur, this Tyagaraja Swami is the name of the Lord there. Birthplace. Okay. So that is where, and the mandapam is called Devashraya Mandapam. Inside the mandapam, all the Adiyargal are sitting. Viranminda is also there. Why have they gathered there? There is some reason. Okay. The reason is Sundarar is going to come. Who was Sundarar? Sundarar was also very great Naayanmar. Later on became Naayanmar. First he was a very great devotee of Lord Shiva. And Sundarar, when he comes, he was a celebrity in those days. Sundarar is like what you can say, Virat Kohli and Dhoni, and everybody wants to see Sundarar, because the reason is, while all other adiyas are dressed very simply, putting all vibhuti on their body, Sundarar lived a life greater than life. The way he was dressed, he used to wear silk clothes, all ornaments, and larger than life. He was living such a beautiful life, a wealthy life, but in his heart, he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And he used to write padigams so beautifully that everybody is attracted to the padigams. So wherever he goes, the crowd will gather to listen to his padigams. So that is the situation, and Sundarar is going to come. So Viranminda is sitting, all the Adiyargal are sitting, and they are all, when Sundarar is stepping in. So for Viranminda, his only objective is, because of Sundarar and his Padigams, we will be able to take Shaivism to the next level. So he had a great expectation from Sundarar that through his Padigams, we should somehow get Shaivism to the next level. So with all the expectation, Viranminda is sitting, and all the Adiyas are sitting. Sundarar is stepping in. He is seeing that side, the Devashraya Mandapam, it is looking like a white ocean. Okay, because everybody, full body is smeared with vibhuti, and all of them, so many people are sitting there. Sundarar is shocked, actually, so many adiyas and such simple people, and he was thinking about himself, what a contrast. And I have to write about them. He also had the desire to write, but he was little thinking what to do. I have to write, and I am leading such a life, and they are also such simple people. With all these thoughts, he just walks into the Garbhagraham. That's it. Viranminda got so angry, because for Viranminda, first you have to pay obeisance, you have to be humble, you have to go and prostrate before the Adiyas, and then only go to see the Lord. When everybody is sitting, how is it that he didn't even bother to talk or even to pay his respects to the Adiyargal, and he just walks into the Garbhagraham? So when this happens, Viranminda does, he proclaims to everybody, from this moment, this Sundara will be outcast. He will not be part of our group at all. Okay. Did he stop with that? He said, Viranminda is okay. This Sadamudiyan, which is the matted hair Shiva, he is the one who is calling him inside and blessing him so much, and this person is not even respecting that matted hair person also. I will outcast him. Look at the kind of thought process. He was so upset that he didn't pay the respect. So this Sundara happens to hear this, okay, and he feels very sad, and he goes and cries to the Lord saying that I want to sing, and it is just that in that mindset I walked in. It is not that I don't want to pay respect. So that is the moment when Sundara decides to write on all the Naayanmars the Padigam. Okay, he writes the Tiruttondar Padigam. Tiruttondar Padigam is the one. Tiruttondar Togai. Tiruttondar Togai is the one which is the base for the 63 Naayanmars, the story which we have today. He was the one who did. So how did he start? He started the Tiruttondar Padigam saying every single Naayanmar's name. He said what is their speciality, and with a obeisance or a this one Namaha kind of a thing. So for every person he said Thillaivar Andanatham Adiyarkum Adiyen. Adiyen means I am prostrating before every single Thillaivar Andanath. Likewise he put every single person, like Velluma Migavella Meipurulku Adiyen. That is a story we saw last week, right? Meipurul. So Meipurulku Adiyen. Like that every single Naayanmar and Adiyen, like that he listed all the 60. At that time he listed 60 because he will not include his own name. Later Sekilar, when he made the story, detailed story, he added Sundara and his parents also. It became from 60, it became 63. So the Tiruttondar Togai is the base on which we have all the stories of the Naayanmars. Okay, but he just listed the name with the Adiyen. Hearing this, then Viranminda got little pacified, because every single person he named him and said Adiyen, my obeisance to each and every person. Hearing this, Viranminda got satisfied, and that is how when Sundarar was taken back into the group of Adiyargal. Okay, so Shiva looked at this and he thought, this Viranminda, if he can challenge me and outcast me, what a kind of courage he must have. So Viranminda was later on made as the head of the Shivaganas. They say that he was appointed as the head of the Shivaganas by Shiva himself. This is how Viranminda also became one of the Naayanmars. So look at the thought process of all these people. Now next story is Dhandi Adigal. Dhandi Adigal is a blind person. Okay, he was blind from birth. Okay, and he lived in Tiruvarur also. And every day his only job was he will look at opportunities how to serve the Lord, and he used to chant the Panchaksharam Om Namah Shivaya always in his mouth. That is his daily life. Now that side there is a very beautiful pond called Kamalalayam. Kamalalayam means beautiful lotus filled pond. That is the beauty of this Tiruvarur temple. And near to the pond, the Jains started occupying and make their meditation centers and all of that, because of which all the sand started coming into the pond, and the pond was getting mushy. Okay, now he was able to hear other people saying this was such a glorious pond, now it is becoming muddy and mushy, because he is blind, he is not able to see. What he decided, did he ask for going for help, I want let us clean up, or did he go to the government or the king? Nothing. He just decided, I will clean it myself. This was the kind of thought process. Even though he was blind, we all have eyes, ears, everything. Then also we will think so many times, if some service opportunity comes, will I be able to do? Should I do? I have so much of work. All these things we think. But he decided, I will clean the pond myself. And he brings poles and he puts it in the pond, and he ties a rope, so that when he is blind, he has to catch something and move, right? So that is how he did, and he got a shovel and a big kind of basket, and every day he will go to the pond and remove the mud and go up, and this is what is daily he was doing. This Jains, they were seeing that, and they did not like it. So somehow he has to be stopped. Okay. So they started making comments saying that what you are trying to do, you think you can clean the pond, you think this is possible by you, and you, for what you are doing this, for that Shiva who did not even give you your eyesight, all the service that you're doing, for what he is not even able to help you with your eyesight. So this kind of, they are provoking him. Okay. But he is thinking that he is first keeping himself calm, but beyond a certain time he also gets these people are keeping on talking about Shiva, that he is not a compassionate lord, he is not able to give you the sight. Then Dhandi decides that he said that you will see that tomorrow itself I will get my eyesight. My lord is compassionate, I know my lord. So if you are saying like this, he will show to you that he can get me my eyesight. Okay. Saying so, he goes and cries in front of the Lord and says, see, it is not that for my ego or for my own self that I want my eyesight. It is only because these people are making fun of you. Okay, that I cannot bear. So you have to somehow give me my eyesight. This is his request, and he goes back to his madam and he goes and rests and he sleeps off crying. And then the Lord Shiva comes in his dream and he promises him, see, for the kind of service you are doing and for all that you endured, you will get back your eyesight. And the people who made fun of you will lose their eyesight tomorrow. This is the promise that Shiva is making. And at the same time, the Lord Shiva is going to the king's dream and he is telling the king, see, this is the person Dhandi, he is doing so much for the pond, for clearing up the pond, which should be ideally done by you. And this person has been harassed by all these people. So tomorrow you make sure you go there and make sure everything is set right. Okay. So the next day morning, the king comes, running, not to see the Lord. He is saying, where is Dhandi? Where is Dhandi? And he finds and he asks him, what is the matter? So Dhandi says, this is the problem I'm facing. But till when the sight has not come. Okay. The morning has dawned. The sight has not come. He says, my Lord, the Lord has told me that I will get it. So I believe in him. Okay. So Dhandi the king says, you go in front, we will follow you. And he goes near the pond. The Jains are all standing there. They are still laughing at him. Still, you see, you have not got back your sight. And that is when he goes into the pond and he takes a dip. And when he comes out, the eyesight is there. Okay. He is able to see. He is able to see the gopuram. He is able to see the pond which he has been clearing all this while. And he feels so happy that, the Lord has actually listened and made sure that he has taught a good lesson to the Jains. It is not for himself that he needed the eyesight. He just wanted his Lord to be shown as a compassionate one, that he will listen to our prayers. So, and all the Jains surrounding him, those who made fun of him, they lost their eyesight, and the king decided, you all have to leave the kingdom, because when initially they were discussing, the Jain said, if you think you will get back your eyesight, we will leave the kingdom. This is a promise that the Jains had made. So the king says, you all leave the kingdom, and that is how Shaivism was prospering at that time with these kind of devotees. So then, as usual, he is always serving. Now the king also decided, I will ensure that the pond is cleaned up. It cannot be done by one person. So the king takes up the task, and Dhandi is very happy. And that is how the story of Dhandi, he got back his eyesight and he is doing his Kainkariya. The next one is Maanakanjaanaran. He is a commander. He is a big commander in the army, and he is also a great devotee. And what is his speciality? If he sees any devotee or adiyar, not even asking, if he thinks they need something, immediately he will fulfill it. Okay, he was a wealthy commander-in-chief, so he had all the resources in his disposal to ensure that any adiyar, whatever they need, their wishes will be fulfilled. They don't need to even ask. That is how he was doing his Kainkaryam. But only problem, he did not have a child. So with lot of prayers, finally they got a girl child. Okay, she was called as Punyavardhini, and she was a very beautiful, girl. And right from the small age, they are teaching her the stories of Shiva and the slokas and everything, and she is growing up to be a very beautiful young girl. And there was this marriage age has come, so they all decided that Airpon Kalikamar, there is another Shiva devotee who was also a commander. So they decided they will wed Punyavardhini to Kalikamar. So the day of the wedding comes. Okay. So she is so beautiful and she's been dressed very well. And the beauty of her is she had such a long hair going up to her knees, and that was beautifully decorated with lot of flowers, rubies, gems, because he was also a wealthy person. So such a beautiful hair, and she's getting ready for the wedding. Okay. Now the bridegroom has not arrived. Bride is getting ready, all done. Maanakanjaanaran is just seeing very happy, looking at her daughter. He's feeling so proud. At that time, there is one Adiyar who comes in, who comes, who comes there. They have never seen him before. Is somebody with lot of tejas and his face, and not only tejas, he is like that. The ganas who wear the skull, with matted hair, and but the face is having that tejas, and he is coming. And Maanakanjaanaran is actually feeling very happy on the day of the wedding. If somebody comes, right, in the like Shiva himself, he is feeling very happy that this person has come. Okay, and they all wear something with a human hair, like a poonal. They wear that. It's called what is it called? There is a particular name. Like the poonal, they wear with the matted hair, with the hair, human hair. They wear it because they are living in the Himalayas, no. So they wear it Panchavati. It's called Panchavati. So this person comes, and Maanakanjaanaran immediately calls his daughter. Come prostrate before him, take his blessings, because it is your wedding day and he has come just like Shiva himself. And she is prostrating, and he happens to see her long hair. Okay, and he says, such a beautiful hair, it will be very good for my Panchavati. Say, the moment he said, Maanakanjaanaran, what is his speciality? Anybody says they like it or they need it, immediately he has to give it. Not thinking that she is going to get wedded today, he takes out a sword and cuts out her hair. Okay, the long hair. And those days, today it is a fashion, we keep on cutting. But those days, especially on a wedding day, it is seen as a very inauspicious thing. They will never do it. You never know, even the wedding can be called off, right? Because they will not accept these kind of things those days. But the bridegroom himself was also a Shiva devotee. Okay, so that he is yet to come. When he cuts only, the moment it happens and they give the this one to the Adiyar, he disappears. And there Shiva and Parvati, the huge light comes up, and they can see Lord Shiva and Parvati, and they bless him and say, this is only to show the people how much of devotion you have, than nothing else. And immediately her hair grows back and she is back to her original form. That's when the Kalikamar, he comes in, the bridegroom comes, and he is such a devotee, and he says, if only I had married her, I would have cut my wife's hair and I would have given that. I lost that opportunity. He says that. And then they are all very happy, and they have got the darshan of Lord Shiva himself. This is the Maanakanjaanaran. Okay. Now next one, the last one is Ilayankudi Nayanaar. Ilayankudi Nayanaar, he was a very wealthy person. They had lot of prosperity, and his main thing was he has to serve the Adiyas through food and keep on, whoever comes, or even before they eat, they will ensure that they feed some Adiyas and then only have their food. This is their specialty. They've been doing it, he and his wife, both of them with great devotion. They are continuously serving the Adiyas through good food. Now, all this is going on for a long time. Now, Shiva has to test him and see how his devotion is. Suddenly, poverty strikes in the family. Slowly, his wealth starts eroding. Okay, and even then, he doesn't want to stop. he is asking, debt, small loan amounts from here and there, and he is trying his level best to feed the Adiyars. Now, it so happens that they have reached the stage when nothing is there at home. Okay, that day, Ilayankudi Nayanaar is coming back home. His wife, she is praying that he should not ask for food, and he is also understanding that there is no food. Both of them just take a tumbler of water, and they are going to sleep. And also in their this one, they are thinking, but in that kind of situation also, not a single day they say that, see what has happened to me. I have served all these people. Shiva did not, never, not even a single time, they have mentioned. Not the men may not mention, but sometimes the wives, they keep on, harassing. We were so wealthy. What has happened now? What kind of situation they will keep on. But no, this husband and wife, both of them are just like each other. They never talk about the situation, and they are happily whatever they can. They are serving the Adiyas. But that day it so happens they also don't have a morsel of food to eat. They just drink water, and they are about to sleep when the door, somebody knocks at the door, and an Adiyar. And that time it's a pouring cats and dogs. It's very, the rain is very heavy, and some Adiyar comes fully drenched. So they welcome him. They still say, yeah, please change your clothes. They give him dry clothes, and he says, I'm little tired. Let me sleep. But then they say, okay, you take rest. You take your sleep, and after that we will serve you something. Okay, but they themselves, they did not have a morsel to eat. What are they going to serve? Both the husband, he has gone back to he has gone to sleep, and they both are thinking what to do. We cannot even ask the neighbors, because already so many times we have asked, and it is pouring cats and dogs. Nobody will open their door also. What to do? Now the wife is telling, she's getting an idea. She's saying, just today we had gone to the field and put the grains there so that it will start, this one. So go, and since it is raining, all the grains would have come up and would be floating. You go and fetch that. With that, somehow I will manage to make some food for the Adiya. Look at the thought. We will say, even I had water only, what to give for others. But this is the thought process. And he goes running in that dark. It's so dark there because it is raining. The serpents could be here and there. He doesn't think all of that. He goes with his basket, and from top he is able to take out the grains and come back home. Okay. And in the meantime, she just goes to the backyard and she fetches the leaves like palak and spinach, whatever is there in the backyard. She gets that, and she was such a good cook that she is able to make one sambar with that, and one, she is planning all that. But they don't have firewood. Once they got all this, they don't have firewood. What to do now? How to lit the fire? Then she says, just our it's a hut. Okay, fetch the wood from the the hut itself. So he is saying, will it fall because it's raining? She says, nothing to worry, the Lord is with us. Just pull out the wood from the hut, this one, and bring it, so I will somehow make the meal for the Adiyar. And he goes and does that, and immediately she is able to make sambar and poriyal and rice for the Adiyar. And once it is done, they go and try to wake him, and they go to the room to see where he is, and he is not there. Okay, and they just go out, and there is a huge light, and Rishabha Vahanam me, Shiva and Parvati is giving the darshan. Okay, that is the beauty, and Shiva is telling him, see, you were such a wealthy person, and now you don't have anything, but your heart is so big that it is, the wealth will keep pouring into you, just like how your heart is big. The wealth will never stop from you. And saying so, Shiva blesses him, and he says, once you come back to Kailasha, you will be with me, and the very Kubera will be serving you. This is the promise Lord Shiva does to Ilayankudi Nayana. And Ilayankudi Nayana got back all his wealth, and he continued his service to the Adiyar. So these are the 4 short stories, but I think the message is very clear that it is very important for us to first serve the devotees, the Guru Margal, those who are in the path, to serve them without fail. We have to take every single opportunity to serve these people. So before I finish, I just wanted to, this Avvayar, when there was a discussion between Avvayar and Murugan. Okay, Murugan is asking what is the biggest, what is biggest in the world. Okay, she says, Peridu, 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 Bhuvanam Peridu. First she says the earth is very big. Okay, Bhuvanam means earth. Bhuvaname Nanmugan Padaipu. But earth is being created by Brahma. So Brahma is bigger than the earth. Okay. Nanmugan Karyamal Udiratil Uditton. That means Brahma came from the navel of Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu is bigger. Karyamalo Alaikadal Tuyindrom. That means the Lord Vishnu is sleeping in the ocean and the ocean is able to bear him, right? So the ocean should be bigger. Okay. So he is asking Murugan, is the ocean final? No. Alaikadal Gurumani Kurumuni Kalasatil Adakam. Kalasatil, this Agastya, he drank the entire ocean and he could keep it in the ocean in the Kamandalam, right? So the Kamandalam and Agastya are bigger than the ocean because he was able to contain it. Kalasamu Buviru Siriman. What is Kalasam? It is coming out of the earth. Either the metal or the mud is coming out of the earth only. So again the earth is bigger. Buviyo Aravenikku Urudale Baram. That means the earth is being held by the Adiseshan on his head. So Adiseshan is the bigger one. Okay. Aravo Umayaval Urusira Modiram. Umayaval is the Devi. She is wearing as a ring, the entire Adiseshan as a ring she is wearing. So it must be the Devi is the bigger one. Now Murugan is asking, final, is Devi the bigger one? Why you are going on and on? Okay. Umayo Iraimanin Pagat Todukkam. What is Devi? Devi is, Shiva is holding Devi as a part, half part, right? So then Shiva must be the biggest. So now Murugan is saying, now final, Shiva should be the biggest, there is nobody else, okay. Iraivaro Tondar Ullat Todukkam. That means what? The very Shiva, you can hold him in your heart. Okay. A devotee's heart is so big that it can hold the entire Shiva and Parvati in their heart. So it is Tondattam Perumai Solvadum Peride. The final one is the devotee is the biggest. Okay, nobody can be bigger than a devotee. This is what Avvayar tells Lord Muruga. So this is the same thing what we also saw, that devotee is the one who can, who is much even bigger than the Lord himself. So any opportunity to do Kainkaryam to a devotee or to our gurus, we should not lose it, and our life, because we get closer to the Lord very easily when we through his devotees and through the gurus. So with that, I think I'll finish with these 4 stories. So with a prayer that Avanarulale Avantal Vadangi, with him, his grace only we can do whatever we want to do also. All that we can do is to surrender to him and request him to make us instruments of his grace, so that the grace can flow through us. And we are just an open instrument, just like how the flute is. We can just be an instrument. Our prayer is only to surrender and make us his instruments and do our service to the humanity. Thank you.